The sun beat down on the azure waters of the Pacific, a stark contrast to the dark business taking place below. Aboard a seemingly nondescript fishing trawler, a different kind of catch was being hauled in: cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamine, destined for the shores of the United States. This was the work of the Leviathan Cartel, a ruthless criminal organization that had sunk its tentacles deep into the drug trade, leaving a trail of misery and death in its wake. For years, the Leviathan Cartel operated with impunity, transforming humble fishing vessels into floating narco factories. Their product, a toxic cocktail of addiction, flooded the streets of American cities, fueling violence and tearing families apart. The cartel's ruthlessness was legendary. They enforced their dominance with an iron fist, silencing anyone who dared to stand in their way. Local fishermen, once the lifeblood of coastal communities, lived in fear, their livelihoods threatened by the cartel's shadow. The stench of chemicals from the clandestine drug labs polluted the air and poisoned the waters, a grim reminder of the environmental devastation left in the cartel's wake. The Leviathan Cartel had become a scourge, a malignant tumor that needed to be excised. The U.S. Navy, long a guardian of the seas, was not about to let this stand. Deep within the bowels of the Pentagon, a plan was being hatched, a surgical strike aimed at the heart of the Leviathan Cartel. Operation Iron Tide was born, a testament to the Navy's unwavering commitment to dismantling drug trafficking networks and bringing the perpetrators to justice. Intelligence poured in from all sources: satellite imagery, intercepted communications, and informants risking their lives to expose the cartel's operations. A clear picture began to emerge, revealing the locations of the floating drug labs, the routes used to transport the narcotics, and the key players calling the shots. The Navy assembled a formidable strike force: destroyers armed with Tomahawk missiles, stealthy submarines lurking beneath the waves, and elite SEAL teams, ready to strike with surgical precision. This was not just about taking down a few boats, it was about dismantling an entire criminal enterprise, cutting off the head of the snake. As the sun peeked over the horizon, casting an orange glow across the water, Operation Iron Tide swung into action. The element of surprise was crucial. The cartel had eyes and ears everywhere. Stealthily, the Navy ships moved into position, surrounding the cartel's network of floating drug labs. Suddenly, the silence was shattered. Tomahawk missiles roared through the air, their targets, the engines and communication systems of the cartel's vessels. One by one, the floating fortresses were crippled, their ability to manufacture and transport drugs crippled. From the depths, SEAL teams emerged, boarding the disabled vessels with lightning speed. The cartel members, caught off guard, were quickly subdued, their reign of terror brought to an abrupt end. The air crackled with the sound of gunfire and the shouts of sailors as they secured the vessels, seizing vast quantities of narcotics and weapons. Section 4. Crushing Blow. Cartel Network in Shambles. The raid on the Leviathan Cartel's floating drug labs sent shockwaves through the criminal underworld. The cartel, once considered untouchable, had been dealt a devastating blow, its leadership captured, and its infrastructure in ruins. The message was clear: the Navy was not afraid to take the fight to the enemy, no matter how remote or well-protected they might be. The impact of Operation Iron Tide was immediate and far-reaching. The flow of narcotics into the United States plummeted, dealing a significant financial blow to the cartel and disrupting the supply chain that fueled addiction and violence on the streets. The cartel's ability to operate was crippled, its network of suppliers, transporters, and distributors left in disarray. The arrests of key cartel figures sent a chill down the spines of other criminal organizations. The Navy had drawn a line in the sand. The open ocean was no longer a safe haven for those who sought to profit from the misery of others. Section 5. Voices from the frontline Navy brass and local heroes speak out. This was a textbook operation, a testament to the skill and courage of our sailors, declared Admiral Michael Jones, commander of the U.S. Pacific Fleet, his voice filled with pride. We have sent a clear message that the U.S. Navy will not tolerate criminal activity in our waters. We will hunt you down and bring you to justice. Local authorities, long burdened by the cartel's presence, breathed a collective sigh of relief. This is a victory for the people, said Maria Gonzalez, the mayor of a small coastal town that had borne the brunt of the cartel's violence. We can finally walk our streets without fear, our fishermen can return to their livelihoods, and our children can dream of a brighter future. The success of Operation Iron Tide was a testament to the power of international cooperation. Intelligence sharing between the United States and its regional partners had been instrumental in identifying and tracking the cartel's movements, culminating in the decisive blow that shattered their empire. Section 6. Ripples of Justice. Impact on communities and beyond. The dismantling of the Leviathan cartel had a ripple effect that extended far beyond the immediate strike zone. Coastal communities, once held hostage by fear and intimidation, began to heal. Fishermen, their livelihoods restored, returned to the seas, their nets filled with the bounty of the ocean, not the tools of the drug trade. The environmental damage caused by the cartel's floating drug labs was addressed. Cleanup crews worked tirelessly to remove the toxic residue, allowing marine life to recover and the ecosystem to begin to heal. The air, once heavy with the stench of chemicals, was once again filled with the salty tang of the sea. The success of Operation Iron Tide served as a beacon of hope for other communities struggling under the yoke of organized crime. It demonstrated that even the most entrenched criminal networks were not invincible, that with determination and cooperation, justice could prevail. Section 7. The war goes on. A new era in drug enforcement. The battle against drug trafficking is far from over. As long as there is demand for illicit substances, there will be those who seek to profit from the misery of others. But Operation Iron Tide marked a turning point, a significant victory in the ongoing struggle. The U.S. Navy, with its global reach and unwavering commitment, stands ready to confront this challenge head-on. New technologies, enhanced intelligence gathering, and stronger partnerships are being forged to combat the evolving tactics of drug trafficking organizations. The fight against drug trafficking is not just about law enforcement, it's about protecting our communities, preserving our environment, and upholding the rule of law. The U.S. Navy, alongside its partners, remains committed to this fight, ensuring that the open sea does not become a haven for those who seek to profit from human misery.